All right, we're live now. Cool beans. All right, so looking at the 1983 information, they were getting the 1069, but then they were really scared of the Me Too clause in the previous contract in 78, and everything dropping. Um, and then, yeah, they just want to try and keep it at the 1069 as much as possible. So, what do we want to try and negotiate for this one, where we can keep that or keep going up or whatever? Aaron, you say raise. Honestly, if I was working for this company, I would want to raise no matter what. But
I think that they should at least be kept at the wage that they are currently receiving, because you know you definitely don't want to dip if you don't have to, and you want to start there, which means we might want to start pressing for a raise,
mhm,
and then accept if we can't get anything else but what we currently receive.
right, yeah. Aaron's making some good points. Like the company in general, Baxter's company is like very profitable, and um, like the wages has been the same for 3 years, because it says like they were at a 3-year freeze with the 1069. So what do we think we want to try and raise it to? Um, we know that they're a profitable company, so we can raise it a fairly good amount, but we still want to be fair to the company.
Is
So
there a percentage that we already know has been the track in the past, to where if we went
if we follow the percentage, um, yeah, I don't see one. The only percentage that I see in this reading is when it talks about if we were to accept a wage cut, and that's 40%. But I don't see anything as far as like how it's increased, how it's been raised. Okay. I know it says at the beginning that the plant has been 20% higher as far as its operating production levels. Um, those are the only things that I see percentage wise. So Aaron suggested somewhere around 11 or 11.50 per hour. So that'd be 30 cents ish raise.
I
Do
think
we
that
want to
that's
go
a
with
really
that, or
good
do we
raise.
want to try and go with a certain percentage?
If we want 30 cents, maybe we should go for 50 cents, um, because it'll probably be pulled down a little bit. If we want 15 cents, then maybe we could start at 30 cents or something like that. But what if we went at 50?
Okay. So like go for 50, and then if they try and work us down, then we'll be fine with it. But like try and keep it around 30. Is that right?
Yeah, even maybe 60. I mean, I'm trying not to be greedy, but if we started, it's just your typical negotiation. If we start at 60 and they go 20, then we meet at 40. And then
Right.
if we start to lose, then we go to 30, which is where we wanted to be,
Right.
which was what Aaron suggested. So maybe let's try 60. Hopefully that wouldn't be too high to where it's like, well, that's astronomical, I
Mhm.
think. So it's not like $1, it's 60. It's pretty, I wonder. So I'm thinking 60 or 50 is my thought.
Okay. If we go for 60, then that would be 1129.
Okay.
So we can start with that number and then go from there.
Cool. Sounds really good.
Okay. So I think that's the only thing that we had to have set before coming together. It was just the one wage number.
Cool.
Let me check. Yeah, just discuss our strategy for getting the wage.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna go for the 1129, and then if they work us down, then we'll go down, but no less than 1099.
That sounds really good.
All right. Let's tell them we're ready so they can join. We're having them join us because I have the live one up. This is going to be really interesting because like we're supposed to negotiate, and then we're also supposed to just like read on our own the one section and then talk some more. So I don't know if we want to stop the recording during that time or just mute all of our mics or what.
I would suggest stopping the recording, especially if there's a pause function. That way it's not really lengthy where there's this big old gap. But I don't know. I'm not that technically. I'm not very experienced with it. So if you feel like you should keep it running, then go ahead. Especially for a timestamp so that whatever, or if it would be better just to edit it out and push pause, then that might be good.
Yeah, maybe when everyone else gets here, we'll figure out if there's a pause or not, or if it's just separate videos.
Good thought.
I hope they found the right link.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi.
See Kaylin
Good.
and Arlie, good. Let's see. And then Erin, I see you. How's your sound? Can we hear you now? Still no sound. Oh darn. Okay, we've been.
You dealing with that?
Yeah.
So Aaron and everybody, can I talk for like 1 second before we start about the paper?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So and there's a huge glare on my computer because I'm outside, so I don't wake my kids up. So if I don't see you. So anyway, I worked on the paper. It's 90% done. I'm going through it again just to make sure I'll get it emailed to you by today. But we're in luck because my sister graduated from BYU in English, and so she's going to proofread it for us. So yay!
Cool. Really cool.
So anyway, we've been doing it. We did half last night, and we're doing half again this morning just to make sure it flows and looks good. So I'll send it to you guys before I hand it in, but it's due Saturday, right?
Awesome.
I think it's due next Monday morning, isn't it?
Monday. Well, I'll try to get it done by like I gotta have so many other things to do. I'm hoping to get it done by tonight or well, I'll wait till Thursday so everybody can see it and give me their input. But
Right.
well, it's not gonna be perfect. It's pretty good though. I think it'll work out really well. So, Aaron, you were the negotiator, weren't you? And your mic's not working.
Yeah. Connie and I had a nice chat, and then Aaron was just kind of typing everything in, giving us ideas.
Good. We could see her favorite section. She's all, no!
All right. Nathan, do you want to start, or do you want me to?
Let's get it started.
Okay.
Our last thing was
Honestly,
only supposed to take 5 minutes, so I don't know why that was supposed to only take 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we're just negotiating a wage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
Is that all this meeting is? We're just simply negotiating, or are there a bunch of questions after?
So for this first part, we were just supposed to go over the 83 paper and then come up with a number to try and negotiate with each other.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna, I guess, take a break or something and read the 85 negotiations, and then come back together and do a final write-up, final contract.
Oh, that's right. Where's the 85? I have read it already, but I don't remember. Does anybody remember where that 1985 is?
It's on a different link.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I got it. I bet you it's in the prepare all students section, right? Discussion prep all students.
I think it's the one right under that Baxter Corp 1985 negotiations.
Let me see. Okay. Aha,
Yeah.
like obvious.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Were you guys thinking $6 an hour?
Yeah, that's funny.
How much? How much?
They were thinking 6, maybe?
Good
More
start.
like 20. Goodness gracious. No, in all honesty, we were wanting to go for $11.29 an hour, just because we're on the price freeze for 3 years with the 1069. So we thought it was pretty fair, especially since the company is 20% or so more productive and more profitable. So that's where we want to start.
So are any of us supposed to like punt in, or is this supposed to be for Nathan?
I think it's all of us.
Yeah, it's all of us, because like it's all the leaders from the company and all the leaders from
Okay.
the union.
We were thinking that was a bit high, especially because the average is what, $9 maximum an hour. And that's quite a bit. And the company's just starting to turn around. Under previous conditions, we would be closed in 10 years if we keep the current status quo. Even though it is being more productive, it's because we have more high productivity due to the new investment in the new plant. So we were hoping to keep the payment as is at $10.69 an hour, but we are willing to negotiate with some different terms. If you wanted, we could meet up with the 11 something an hour that you wanted, if you guys want to negotiate the hiring and firing control and getting rid of a few things.
Okay, I don't know, because you said you had a glare, so I don't know if you saw what Erin was saying.
I didn't.
She's just typing. So she was just saying, let me scroll down again.
No way,
Okay.
3 years is too long.
So our company is more profitable than the others, and they're in bankruptcy. So that's why they have the maximum $9 an hour. And so she said, no way, 3 years is too long at the same wage, so we don't want to go any longer with the same wage. So
Okay.
definitely want to raise, but
The problem is that we have to be careful because the industry alone isn't doing well. People want more produce and fresh produce, and they want canned goods. So we have to be careful not to get too high and have an. What would you guys think about negotiating, getting rid of a few things in order for higher pay? Would you be willing to do that?
what things would you be offering?
Harley and Nathan, what were you guys thinking?
Pretty much, we would take control of the hiring and firing and get rid of the 52-week, whatever they call it. I don't have it up.
Layoffs? Notice?
Yeah, the notice.
We also
Yeah.
wanted a no strike agreement because that would create problems. Also, in a no strike, the option would be on the table if there was a strike. We could just hire new employees, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah, so Aaron's reminding me, and I'm looking at it. There's already a no strike agreement for the 3 years of our last contract. So we could definitely renew that.
Yeah, I just meant it for 1985. Yeah.
Oh, right now we're doing 83. We're not doing
Right.
85.
I'm looking forward, like no strike, because it sounded like at the end of the readings it was building up. They were thinking about it for 85.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? The 10-year thing.
The laid off workers guaranteed rights of first refusal for job openings with the same job classification up to 10 years after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want full control of the hiring and firing on all the roles that go with that. We are willing to do your 11 something an hour, which is well beyond the average high for in the industry. And not every company though is in, at least that I read, is in foreclosure or bankruptcy.
Right.
But we can also so if we are willing to go higher if we can get rid of the 52-week layoffs and have control over all hiring and firing, and a no strike agreement starting in 1985 for the next period. But we want to give all the regulars the 2 weeks paid vacation, 401ks, and the Christmas bonus. Does that sound good?
Could you repeat that, the very last thing that you said?
We want to keep good benefits for the people too, like 2 weeks of paid vacation, the 401k. Sorry, I should probably go in the house. People are doing construction, but the
You're
401,
fine. We can hear you good.
the 401k, and for sure, and the Christmas bonus. Oh, and keep the insurance. We definitely want to keep the insurance for the employees.
What do you think, Connie?
I like the idea of, I'm really glad that they want to keep all the benefits on the table because that's what keeps our life, kind of in balance. Now, I was wondering if we were to come down a little from 1129, then which of the two, we really like the 52-week layoff notice because that gives us a whole year to look for another job if needed. But so I'd like to keep that in there, and then maybe just so negotiate staying at the 1129, keep the 52-week layoff notice, and then let management have full control over hiring and firing. Maybe that's where we could land in a happy place where we've all negotiated something. That's what I think, Nolan.
Okay.
What do you think, Arlie?
I think that the 52 weeks, like we don't want to get rid of all the incentive pays that we have because we care for the employees, but then we are paying higher than the industry average, and we're losing money as well. In our projections from from 1975 up until 1985, our net sales haven't increased drastically. And we're still paying, and our wage costs have been consistent over those years where we've always been higher, and we're losing money. So that's why we're not, we can't afford to have all those incentive pays, have that high base pay, and then have no control over our hiring and firing.
But the profitability also could be due, Aaron, because of the new plant, the new equipment, faster productivity, as well. Because the industry is not selling more canned things, they're going more for produce. Yes, we did take away incentive pay because it wasn't productive for the company, and that lacks time.
Incentive pay was very productive for the company. We were especially where the workers are self-motivated. We're really reliable. We get there. And then just think about how much product is produced. There's a great reliability there. Let's back up a little bit. We were at 1129 with management at full control for hiring and firing, and then the 52-week layoff notice was going to be scratched. So what if we cut the layoff notice in half? Because it seems like we were at a good place. The 1129 was what the union is asking for. Management wanted full control, and then the 52-week layoff was one of the things that management wanted to scratch. What if we took the 52-week and worked with that number? Nolan, were we ready to negotiate at that point? Uh-oh, Nolan left. Aaron, what are your thoughts? I can't see what you type, and so everyone else might have to.
So you're meaning cut it from a year to 6 months?
Maybe, or even 9 months for now, renegotiating next year, because it looks like we're negotiating as necessary now. 6 months is a big difference between a year. How about if we went 9 months? Is that a good place to negotiate, Aaron? Is that where you want to start to negotiate? Are you happy with everything else, Aaron? Sorry. Okay, Nathan, I guess let's move forward.
No, she said. Oh, can you see what Aaron says? You said.
No, I can't see what Aaron says, and then I see that Nolan's left the call, and so I'm the only voice. But Aaron.
No, she typed. She said typing, Aaron. 9 months is fair.
Good. I feel like 9 months is fair too. What does management feel?
So let me get this straight. 9 months is not to fire people. 9 months is simply if you're going to lay them off because of, say, work constraints. Am I right with that understanding? Okay. Okay. I would be willing to work with 9 months. I would be willing to work with the 9 month notice. What do you think? It's not ideal, but I mean, that's how negotiating goes. What do you think, Nathan? Marley?
Yeah. I can see how 6 months would be a drastic change.
That's still plenty of time to get for other, job opportunities. Just depends on the economy. So if we up the pay to $11.29, keep all of the benefits that you, the insurance, the Christmas bonus, the 401k, and the 2 weeks paid leave, and that's still well above the industry average. We're going to put it from 52 weeks to 9 months. To me, that's not a huge concession, but and we want full control over the hiring and firing. We also want a no strike agreement starting in 1985 for another term because things are heating up. Would you guys be willing to do that?
I think that's great.
What do you think, Aaron? Yeah. full control, ideally, I wanted to get rid of the 52 weeks layoff. I've never even heard of that anywhere. I think that's super generous, but we want control
Well-
over how much people get paid when they start hiring, when they get hired, and we want to control over the firing, being able to fire people when needed without going through the loops of the union. Hey, Marissa. Just like any other average company. And you guys are getting all the benefits and a higher wage.
Yeah. So what would the new hire wage?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What would the new hire wage be? Like when you first hire someone?
Well, if the base pay is $11.29, we can keep it at $11.29.
Okay.
And that's for new hires?
New hires.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a lot
Um,
of concession.
One of the things you mentioned about the 52 week.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead. Never mind. I was going to remind us that this is seasonal, and that's one of the reasons for the 52 week.
I see. Thank you for the reminder. I didn't realize that.
We must have our number though. If it's 11:29.
Yeah. I feel like kind of like the company's still getting the short end of the stick because we're still keeping the benefits. You're upping the pay, but if there's no strike agreement for another however many years, starting in 1985, and we get control, full hiring of the hiring and firing. I'm not sure what that means. It just talked about that in the notes that they want full control, but I'm pretty sure they wanted rid of the 52 weeks, but 9 months is a big concession for that as well because it is a ever tightening industry, and we're paying well over the average high.
So
From
if
What?
everyone's good with that, I think we have to go and read the 1985
Okay,
thing.
it's so bright out here.
good.
Okay, so we'll say goodbye and we'll see you guys in a minute, right?
So do we want to do two separate recordings then?
We don't have to. I didn't know what we were supposed to do. Yes, they have, Aaron.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the 11:29, and then cut the layoff notice to the 9 months, and then full control like they wanted.
No strike clause.
Yeah, no strike clause as well.
I'm not sure what the 85 does different because they want to give us 15 minutes to read each one.
Yeah. Yeah, they just want us to read it and then come back for a final contract.
Does somebody want to just like post it on their screen so we can just kind of, I don't know, or should we just come back?
It's up to you guys.
Baxter.
Will we lose connection at all, or that's my only concern?
If anything, we
No.
can just do a separate
Marissa.
recording, and it'd be
Good.
fine.
We'll just
follow
bail
through.
back to our other link.
To Nolan's link.
To my link that I posted.
Okay, so go to that one.
Keep the door, Marissa.
And then
All right.
we'll come back.
Well, yeah. So let's see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we just have to remember the 11:29. That's all it says we need to
Yeah.
do with this. Just write
Okay.
down the number. All right. So we'll see the rest of you later. Yeah, it's
Okay.
about 15 minutes or so.
So that's at 11 o'clock, right? Okay.
right? I will stop the graph.